Welcome back to Fab Automotive Detailing and Tool Reviews. In this video, we have a McGraw compressor. I think this is the earlier model when McGraw's first come out. It is getting up to about 30 PSI, but it won't go any further than that according to the guy that I bought it off of. I've had it running. It won't build up hardly any pressure at all. I'm going to show you guys what I think it is, and we're going to see if we can fix it in this video. So I bought this compressor off Facebook Marketplace for $50. They sell brand new at Harbor Freight for $250. On Facebook Marketplace, you can sell them for $150 to $200, somewhere around there. I didn't buy it necessarily to resell it. I could, but I bought it because we're moving into a new shop. I'm not taking my 60-gallon compressor with me. I'll show you guys. I bought a 20-gallon Speed Air off a guy off Facebook Marketplace. Runs great, but just obviously being 20 gallons doesn't hold pressure very long. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to put two together is my thought process. And if I can't fix this, let's just say this doesn't fix it. Take this motor off, take all this stuff off. I can use this as a tank to pump air from that tank into this tank and then use this tank as for my pressure for the tools. So it's just now I have a 40-gallon tank basically, but I don't know what I'm going to do with this. It may just end up going underneath the shelf for a backup in the future. I have no idea, but let me show you guys what it was doing. So all the ones that I saw on YouTube, the videos I watched, this wasn't this shape. It was just a circle with two almost look like vents, right? And the reeds sit on top, and the reeds are what move up and down to give you your pressure. This one, of course, take it apart, it's completely different. So this plate normally sits like this, and it has a reed right here, which I'll show you guys in a little bit. Normally sits like this, and then you have another reed that goes right here. Your fresh air comes in here, and then as the piston comes up, pushes air, pushes this open, and allows the air to go into the tank. But it can't do that when the gasket's gone. And this guy said he had taken this thing all the way apart multiple times. He was tired of dealing with it. He just couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. But as soon as I opened it up, I saw right there that the gasket was gone. So I know that this is an issue. I'm hoping that it fixes it. I noticed that there's not a gasket underneath. I guess we'll call this the block, but this is more or less just a piston sleeve. I noticed there's not a gasket underneath, and there was a bunch of oil around the outside of the motor case. So I'm thinking this kit that I got, I'll show you guys, comes with all the gaskets, and I had a hard time finding these, but I ended up finding them on Amazon of all places after I searched McGraw 20-gallon air compressor V-shaped, a V-shaped reed, because all the other videos I watched are all just straight reeds. And I found that kit with those gaskets. I'll show you guys. I'm not sure if this is the part number. That way you can kind of stop the video if you want, or if this is the part number. But I got them on Amazon. They were $6 and they're prime, so I got him next day, which is a cool thing. We're going to try to fix this in this video. His issue was, he said that it just wouldn't build pressure, and I can see why, because what was basically happening, and I'll try to show you on this, since the gasket was blown out here, your fresh air, fresh air comes in through here, right? And it's going to go through the hole that's right here to this side. The piston comes up, it's going to push that fresh air into here, and all the air is going to go to the tank. So it goes into here and goes to the tank. But since this was gone, the air, as the piston was coming up, it was pushing it out this way, not to the tank. I could actually feel it when I took this cap off, going doop, 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 doop. It's actually pushing air out that way instead of sucking air in. So that's the whole issue. This is basically the head, right? That's the whole issue. I just really hope we get this fixed. One other thing I do want to mention, when I took these apart, these were in probably tighter than they should have been. One of the lock washers was messed up, so I had to put a new lock washer on it. And then I had to change the oil. This one doesn't come with a drain plug. This is I think this is one of the newer model or older models. No drain plug. You have to take these 4 bolts out. This was all soaked with oil. I bought somebody else's headache. And this bolt right here was stripped. When I pulled it out, I had threads with it. So I put it back in. It kind of tightened, but I put some Loctite on it, let it cure. I changed the oil, obviously, while I was there. I think we need to take this off, put a gasket underneath here because there's a bunch of oil down here, and it looks like there's no gasket. Like I said, he said he had taken this apart many times, so let's see if we can't fix this thing. So you guys may be getting ready to see me mess up big time. I hope that's not the case. I'm going to push this piston up about halfway because I think I need to take this off, and it's going to have piston rings on it. I don't know how I'm going to compress them to get them back in, but I would think it wouldn't be that difficult, I hope. But, because I think there should be a gasket on here. Okay, so there's the piston. See, there is no gasket. So oil is going to just bypass all of this. I'm not even know if I'm in the camera. This is not going to seal on its own. Metal to metal does not seal. You have to have some type of gasket. So I think that's what that gasket is that came with the kit. You do not want to get debris down inside of here. If you do, you're going to take that cover back off and you're going to have to clean it out really good with brake clean. Really, really hoping. Yeah, I should be able to squeeze those back together to get it back in there. I'm going to take a little bit of brake clean. My favorite product. I love the smell of brake clean. Being a mechanic for over 20 years, it's something you grow to love the smell of. There's a lot of fluids I hate the smell of, but brake clean's one that, whew, I love it. And we need to put Loctite thread locker on all the threads. We put it back in. Everything looks really good. The cylinder walls look really good. They're not gouged up. You can still see the cross hatches in them. So everything there looks good. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to wipe down this. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever taken a compressor apart, but guys, I've built engines, so I mean, it can't be that hard. I've built several engines. See, stuff like this, you got to make sure it does not get down in that cylinder wall. Now this is shaped a little bit different per side. But that's got to be what this is for. Yeah, that's definitely what this is for. So if I would have put this thing all the way back together and not put this on, once it got hot and the oil really got thinned out, it would have been leaking everywhere. Now we got to try to get this. We got to try to get this back on without destroying our rings, which I don't know if I can do. I mean, I have a ring compressor, but I have no way to take it off. Okay, so I got the top ring in. This bottom ring doesn't want to. It's so easy to push this thing down. There we go. Okay. Now, without getting oil all over my gasket, try to line it back up. The best that we can. Let this fit. There we go. Okay, we're down. So that gasket was not there, but I think we're backwards. I don't know if it would matter. No, it's definitely going to matter. Crap. Of course. Okay, that's the way that it's supposed to be. That's the orientation that I took it apart, at least. Okay, so we are down. We just got to make sure our holes are lined up, which they are. And we should be good to go from there. So now we need to get the gaskets off of here and then clean this up really good. Hoping that, yeah, see, these never come off really easy. I know I got my hand in your guys' way, but yeah. There's just no easy way around these types of gaskets, unfortunately. If you can grab the edge of these types, usually they come apart, just depending on how long they've been in. I don't know how old this compressor is. I forgot to ask the guy how old it was. But the most important thing is getting the gasket off and cleaning this up really, really good before you put the new gaskets in. Okay, so what I found is working best is this tool that I got from Grio's Garage a long time ago, the USAG 424C2 razor blade scraper. You can replace the razor blade, but it gets underneath these gaskets. Look at that, like nobody's business. Way better than the tool I was using before. And the other tool I tried once I turned the camera off. And I was like, oh yeah, I got that Grio's Garage razor blade scraper. So yeah, that works awesome. And now what I'm going to do, now you can either take a wire brush and clean it, but you need to get all of this off. This is like a glue almost, the way it sets up. I take a brush like this, and I just go in and I just do this. Right? See that? Nice and quick. And you want to stay moving. You don't want to stay in one spot, because you can actually end up taking more off here than here, and then it's definitely not going to seal up. But let me get it cleaned up. And then what you want to do now that we are good and clean, take it outside. You don't have to take it outside, but I'm going to take it outside, I'm gonna spray some brake cleaner on it and get it cleaned up, make sure there's no oil or anything on this plate. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is put this reed on the one side. You can see where it was before. So that's why I left that there. That way I know. And all it does is go right here. And these are very, very small. These are 2.5 millimeter is what these are. Allens. Don't lose them, because if you lose these, you're going to be in big trouble. And these sit down in the block or the sleeve. I'm really not sure what they call that on a compressor, but we're going to call it a block. I'm going to show you what it does. Okay, you don't want to go all Superman on these. They can't come out. Just get them snug. And the reason I say they can't come out because these go right in those holes. They can't go anywhere. So what happens? This sits like this. Air comes into the engine, into the block, and that pushes that. That's all it does. So when this air, fresh air comes into this hole, it's going to push against that. It's going to open. It's going to allow fresh air into the cylinder. Before we get too crazy, so this is the other reed, and I can see where the holes were, and it's going to go just like this. And then this actually is canted just a little bit. I'm not sure if that's a word I'm looking for, but I'll show you guys once I put it on. And you know, we might just put some blue Loctite on these just to be safe. Just a very small amount. You don't need a lot. Okay, so this sits up like this. See, it's not flat, allowing that reed to open and close when it needs to open. I'm assuming because that's how it was when I took it apart. So let's hope he put it back together right. I've watched a couple videos. I had a hard time finding videos. I found no McGraw videos with this, but I found another guy's video. I think it was like maybe a Craftsman. I don't remember. That he was doing. And it had this V shape. This gasket's going to go just like this. And these, you got to go right down there without knocking this gasket off. Of course, there's no way that's going to happen. So let's just put it on here first. Just kind of, there we go. Just kind of set it down. And make sure that our bolt holes are lined up. Now, for the final piece, this gasket's going to go just like this. Man, you guys, I hope this works. Because if it did, it only cost me $6 after you bought the compressor. So if you have one of these compressors, then this isn't going to cost you a whole lot. It can cost you $6 to get it. Now, it is important. You got to make sure you put your airline on as you put this down. So I like to put it right there on there first. Make sure that our gasket stayed. Look, my airline came off. Just telling you guys how important it was. Oh boy, I'm getting excited here. All right, we're gonna put blue Loctite on all of these. I buy this stuff off Amazon. It comes with the red and blue, big old bottles, and this stuff dries quick. This is really good stuff, and it's very cheap. I'll put a link in the description of the video where you can find it if you guys are interested. I love it. I think it works really, really well. All right, now, the gasket's got to stay lined up. Let's put the top one on. These we're going to put in with a T-handle also, just in hopes that I don't over torque like the previous owner pretty much did. We're just going to let it catch its first thread. Just like that. This bolt right here, I noticed yesterday when I took it apart, it's not exactly straight. See, that's causing that head to kind of walk around. Let's go ahead and put these down. Try to keep the head from moving around. And once that blue Loctite cures, you're good. It ain't gonna go nowhere. Now, I know what you're thinking. He's gonna use that side. He's gonna torque it. I'm not. I don't have any torque specs on this. So all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put my hand on here. I'm just gonna make sure they're tight. Just like that. And then we need to put the cover on because we got to protect ourselves from the fan for one, and the fan's going to cool the coils and stuff. So we got to put this cover back on. That didn't come with any bolts. Obviously, when he was taking it apart, he didn't think they were necessary to keep or lost them or something. Not 100% sure. So I went to Ace Hardware and got myself. They are M5 by 0.8. That'll work. I'm gonna go eat some dinner, take about an hour, let the Loctite cure, come back out, fingers crossed it works right. All right, so it's been maybe about an hour, maybe a little bit over. Just got done eating dinner. You know, there wasn't Loctite on some of those bolts to begin with, so I'm really not all that worried about it, but we should be good to go. Now, when I got this and I plugged this in, all it did was run. The gauges never went up. Now, I know this gauge works because once I had the head off of there, right, and I had just the pipe open, I took my air compressor and I closed this valve like that, and once I did that, I blew air in here and the gauge would go up and it would hold pressure. So I know that this works. So now we're gonna actually see if it does more than just sit here and run. All right, and if it does start going up, I'll put you guys in time lapse and we'll see if this thing goes all the way up and actually shuts off. I don't know if it shuts off at 135, I'm not sure, but let's find out. It's going to take a minute to get some air in the tank. It is going up. See if it makes it past 30. We have made it past 30. Okay, so it did shut off at 135. So the previous owner, put this over here so you guys can hopefully see it. I just now noticed it because I was like, man, I'm hearing air rushing. This was not tight. I knew something was going on with it. Okay, that's tight now. You guys, this thing is fixed. If I would have already owned it, obviously I spent $50 on the machine, but if I'd have already owned it, it would only cost me $6 to get this fixed done. Absolutely fantastic, you guys. I'm so glad that it fixed it. If you have this type of compressor, don't be afraid to take it apart. It's actually very, very easy. Get your gaskets replaced if it's pumping, but it won't actually completely fill the tank or it stops at 30 PSI. It's a pretty easy fix, $6 on Amazon. And that's it. You guys saw me do it. So thank you guys so much for watching this video and checking it out. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, join the Fab family. We'd love to have you. We'll see you in the next video.